All right, 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Welcome to another episode of What's Your Problem? I'm your host, Marsh Bice, and here on What's Your Problem, we tackle 3 universal problems. Don't care where you are in life. Doesn't matter how ballin' out rich you are or how broke you are. There's 3 problems we all face: adversity, uncertainty, and complacency. And so on these episodes, you will learn the life skills of communication, curiosity, creativity, continuous learning and action, and productive confrontation. That way you can handle the adversity, embrace uncertainty, and never settle again. So these are simple episodes. Life's not easy, but I try to break these things down, distill them down, so that way you can simplify your day to maximize your life. Everybody wants to be wealthy, right? Everybody says they want to be wealthy all day long. I don't want to be just rich. Rich is the athlete. Wealth is the team owner. I want to be the team owner in my life. I don't think we ever really realize that there are 2 kinds of wealth. There is wealth preservation, and there is wealth creation. So when you have wealth preservation, this is protecting what you already have. And it's usually something that you didn't earn. It was just passed along to you. Silver spoon, inherited. And so your whole life in preservation mode, wealth preservation, your whole life, it becomes about protecting what you already have and not losing it. But then there's wealth creation. So there's wealth preservation, then wealth creation. Wealth creation, that's us, man. That's where you're building something out of nothing. And the beautiful thing about it is once you build it, you have the confidence that you can build it again. This is an earned confidence, bro, that nobody can actually take away from you. So I tell you all this because I was talking to a wealthy businessman, and he said, Marsh, you've got to understand something. There are 2 kinds of wealth. There's preservation, and then there's creation. And he said, I learned this firsthand back in 2008, 2009. This was during the recession. And he was like, I was on the doorstep of losing everything. I mean, today, he looks like he has it going on. But back in 2008, 2009, which is really not that long ago, he was like, I was on the brink of losing everything. And so he told me of a story during the financial crisis where he had lunch with another wealthy businessman. But this wealthy businessman had inherited his wealth. And he was like, Marsh, here I am having lunch with this guy. He has like seemingly unlimited money. And he tells me, don't worry about it. You're going to be just fine. And my friend shot back to him. He said, that's easy for you to say because you got plenty of money. He said, I'm about to lose everything. And the one who had inherited his wealth said, you don't get it. The only thing I know is how to protect what I've been given. If I lost it, I wouldn't know how to get it back. But see, the advantage that you have is you started with nothing and you built it up. So even if you lost it all, you know how to build it back. And that's an advantage that I'll never have. See, what looked like a weakness in the moment, in the financial crisis, it broadened his perspective, was actually a strength. And what felt like lack was actually leverage. And see, this is where most people miss it. You may not have wealth as in preservation wealth. Like, people who just don't seem to struggle for anything. They got it, right? Their families got it. They're going to be just fine. But see, you have a huge advantage. This is why I'm bringing you this message, is because you have access to opportunities that they don't. Number one, there's no gatekeepers. There are. So you have access. You can get started and create from wherever you are right now. And because you seemingly, quote unquote, have nothing, this means you have everything. You have everything to gain. I was talking to a customer of mine yesterday, and she was telling me about a young man that she knows, like a teenager. And she was like, he's kind of like a handyman repairman. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? She was like, he learns through YouTube, and then he pitches his services to people. He builds whatever or repairs whatever. He created his own business, like out of nothing. He didn't have to get a business license or anything like that. He just learned and applied it. See, he didn't have a trust fund. Neither do we. He simply had access, and he used it. See, that's the creation I'm talking about. But see, here's the problem. Most of us spend more time griping about what we don't have than taking stock in what we do have. And so we're so busy talking about our disadvantages, and we totally ignore our advantages. Number one, access to opportunities. We have access to opportunities that those who are in the preservation business, they can't do it. They can't afford to do it. And so they get into this playing not to lose versus playing to win. And so you have access to all these opportunities, but you're not seizing them because you're too worried about what someone else has and the privileges that they possess, and you're missing out that I'm totally free to move about the country. I can do whatever I want to do. I'm in the creation business. So this is why I'm bringing you this message. Like, ain't nobody stopping you. You're not at a disadvantage. You're actually at an advantage because lack is leverage. You're free to create, free to build, and free to keep creating in any direction that you want to. It's your choice. Bro, you got the greatest advantage there is because you can just keep innovating, iterating, evolving, trying new things. And those who are in the preservation business, they can't do that. And you can. So I want to leave you with a few questions. And I'm going to leave you also, there's going to be a link in this episode to download a free copy of your own worksheet for you to reflect and ask yourself some questions. See, confrontation is key. Communication is key. And see, these worksheets that I'm providing in these episodes are for you to do the homework. Okay, not jump on to the next episode, but to actually just take a few minutes, even if you just record it. Like I would tell you, this would give you a prompt because, writing is a big thing for me. This should give you a prompt to write about it the next morning or write about it that evening. And so this way, this is going to start sharpening the saw, man. This is going to help you bring clarity to your life. You feel like, the adversity and the uncertainty and the complacency is it's just closing in on you. And I'm saying, no. The walls are closing in on those who are in preservation, but you're wide open, bro, because you're in the creation business. So let me leave you with a few thought starters, man. What have you been just explaining away like that's a disadvantage when actually it's an advantage for you? Like you came from the wrong side of the track. You didn't get to go to college. You failed out of college. You got pregnant. You're bankrupt. Had a drug problem. Went to jail. See, you can sit there and say that's a disadvantage. You think you're the only one to have had that? No, now you need to repurpose that and figure out, okay, this is an advantage. I can imagine, like, if you went to jail, you learned how to survive. You learned how to make it, especially any long period of time. If I went to jail right now, I wouldn't, I'd be calling you, be like, hey, bro, school me, man. It's like that. What is it? Get Hard from Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart. That's what I'd be like, bro, educate me. See, that's an advantage. I mean, we all have advantages. You were creative during that time. You had nothing. And look at you now. Look at how you've recovered. But don't just stop right there. Like, this thing's got to be just perpetuate. So what have you been just explaining away as a disadvantage that actually is not a crutch, it's a catalyst? What opportunities do you have access to right now? I'm not saying how it's going to happen. Like what? What do you have access to? Right now, it starts with podcasts. Right now, you have access to YouTube. You have access to all these kind of different things. So you have access to these things. Where have you been stuck in a preservation mindset? But it's a preservation like you're trying not to lose. I mean, like you're putting sandbags around whatever you have right now, and you miss out on bro, you got to zero it out. Like, fuck it. And I'm not saying in a reckless way. I'm saying, like, this ain't it. This ain't all. This may be what is, but it's not all there is for you. You have access to other things. Bro, you got to do the work. And do you realize the day and age that you're in right now? You don't need permission. You don't need an inheritance. You don't need somebody else's advantage. You have access. You have creativity. You have grit. And actually, you have the upper hand. Better recognize it. All right? We got to share this. I need you to share this episode with one person. That's all I need you to do. Download the worksheet for you. Pass it on to somebody else too. Let this be a group discussion for you. And then I need you to share this episode with just one person a day. Share this with one person who doesn't, like you look at them and you're like, trying to get you to see it. But they're in the yeah, but land, right? They're like, yeah, but you don't understand my situation. You don't understand what Just press play. Listen to this. That's all I want you to do. And I got you from there, okay? Let me be the bad guy. Let me be the asshole. You just share it. That's what I need you to do, man. I need you to share this episode, whether it be video or whether it be just the podcast. Got you covered either way. Also, I'm going to write a Substack post on this, so be sure and connect with me on Substack. Substack's cool because it kind of drowns out the noise of all the social media. I'm not a big social media guy. If I didn't have a podcast, I probably wouldn't be on social media at all. But I do it because I have something to share, and that's why I do it. But Substack is kind of it's more the signal, so that way you can drown out some of the clarity. If you want my thoughts on paper, I lay it out that way for you too. And then of course you have the worksheet. This will give you something to write on the next day. Part of the process, my daily core 6 is reading and writing every single day. If you don't know what you should be writing on, just start with these. The last few episodes, I've started including worksheets on those. Began to use these things. It's a huge advantage for you. I created that for you, so that way you can use it as a catalyst, not a crutch. All right, with that, let's get out of here. Keep it simple, keep it moving, never settle, stay tough. Peace.